We all miss this when we start shooting stock photos or footage. We go out and we film sunsets, landscapes, slow motion shots. I mean, really, yeah, we all do it. Then we all wonder why nothing sells. So in this video, I'm gonna show you how to start selling stock footage as a beginner. What to shoot, how to shoot it, where to upload it, and one simple strategy that I wish I knew when I started. I'm also gonna add timestamps so you can jump from one segment to the next if you need to. But here's the big secret. You don't get paid for what looks good. You get paid for what solves a problem. I remember watching a Peter McKinnon video with Casey Neistat saying,
"So my rule is never let perfection get in the way of good enough."
Then I look at my stock photo sales and I've made a surprising amount of money from photos of sticky notes. Not perfect, just good enough. And that's when it clicked. If something that simple can sell as a photo, then video should be the same, right? Yes, the answer is yes. Stock footage isn't about what you like to film, it's about what someone needs for their project. A buyer isn't looking for art, not all the time. They're looking to solve a problem. They need a clip for a commercial, for a YouTube video, for a website, an ad. If your clip solves that problem, it sells. If it doesn't, it won't. So start asking yourself, where and how would this be used? Now, let's look at who's buying this stuff. You have businesses, YouTubers, advertisers, content creators. They all need the same thing. They need simple visual clips that supports a message. And before people in the comments start saying that AI is destroying this business, it's not. I know a few of you out here watching this who continue to make good money every single month. And there's also a lot of people who understand the environmental issues of using AI and would much rather pay a real person for a job well done. Okay, now, where do you sell these videos? You have three main agencies, or at least I do: Shutterstock, Adobe Stock, and Getty Images. There's a bunch of other agencies out there. These are my main performers for photo and video. There's also something called a distributor agency like Black Box Global, and I use them as well. This one is only for video. When you send them the video, they send it out to multiple agencies. It's a one-stop shop. By the way, all of this is completely free. It all works on commissions. When something sells, you get a percentage, the agencies get a percentage as well. Now, here's the important part. You can upload the same clips to multiple agencies as long as you don't choose to be exclusive or submit exclusive content. Now, if you use a distributor, you can't upload the same content to other agencies. They handle the uploads to other platforms. You don't want duplicates of your content or anyone questioning who owns those assets. If you had the time, I would say go direct, and if not, a distributor can save you hours every week, or you can use software to simplify this process, and I'll get to that later in the video. Now, let's move on to gear, camera settings, video quality, and all of this can be a little bit intimidating, I know. It took me years to get started because I kept complicating it. Keep shooting simple. Use the best quality your camera gives you. I sell videos today from that camera over there, the Rebel, no, not the Rebel, the Canon 7D. This is a 15-year-old camera. Phones today have better quality than this, but yeah, I'm selling photos I made with this, or videos I made with this camera. For stock photography, I've always said no to cell phones, but for video, I'm gonna say yes. Use what you have and get started. I kept coming up with excuses like I need a better camera, better lens, I don't know how to edit, I don't know any of this, but all of this information is available here on YouTube for free. So start with what you have already. Now, how do you shoot video? Shoot raw whenever possible and shoot at the highest quality available for your setup. Use a stabilizer like a gimbal or a tripod so the footage looks good and professional. Keep clips short. 6 to 15 seconds is all you need. Avoid shaky starts and endings. When you push the button, usually you move. So trim that out. You can cut it before and after so there's no movement. Also, remove all sound. Unless the sound was captured with fancy microphones and stuff, agencies prefer it when there's no sound. Good lighting matters, but it doesn't have to be fancy. You don't need studio lights or stuff like that. Natural light is fine, and use it from the side so it gives you depth and shadow. And remember, even small movement sells. Writing, cooking, steam. Simple motion is enough. You don't need cinematic perfection. You need usable footage. Now, let's talk about what sells. The best performing category I've seen over and over again is lifestyle, but don't worry. I know when people hear lifestyle, they start thinking about models and studios and expensive setups and all of this stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about real life cleaning, cooking, fixing things, do-it-yourself projects, everyday actions, even gardening, something as simple as gardening. Like my dryer vent clip I mentioned in other videos, that sells because it shows a problem. Someone can use that to represent maintenance, cleaning, repair services. It's the same with cutting hair off a vacuum roller. That's another real world problem. The photo sells a lot, so why not make a video of the same thing? Even something as simple as steam coming up a cup of coffee, that sells. Yes, this clip has sold multiple times because it feels real. It is real, it's simple. So instead of filming sunsets, film problems and solutions. If you really want to go out and film sunsets, add some interest, like a little dog in a tent. Boom, you get a great seller. Yes, it's lifestyle, and yes, this clip sells often. Now, think before and after. Ooh, remind me, I need to film a clean dryer vent. The point I want to make in this video is what Casey said. Don't let perfection get in the way of good enough. I filmed this video 3, maybe 4 times because I wanted it to be perfect. But every time I'm in the editing room, I see something that I could improve. And then it hit me. Stock photos and videos are the same as YouTube. This is a continuous process. It's not a one and done deal. My last 2 videos have done fantastic. I'll admit it. I'm super excited, and I've spent a ridiculous amount of time trying to figure out why. The reason doesn't matter. Just continue to build on what you already have, and soon that snowball's gonna start to grow. Don't overthink this. All right, let's rewind and go back to the beginning. If you're new here, my name is Charles Wollertz. This is Wollertz Photography, and I started shooting stock photos since 2010, and I added video a few years after that, with those videos quickly becoming my top performers. Yes, videos are a lot more than photos. When I first started, I uploaded sunsets, landscapes, random clips, anything and everything I could capture. And I was thinking, at that time I was thinking as a creator, not like a buyer. And I remember thinking, this doesn't make any sense. Why would that video sell or that photo, but not this one? Like, nothing made any sense. Stock footage isn't about what you like to film. It's about what someone needs for their project. Okay, now here's the strategy. This almost guarantee that you're gonna sell more. Think in sequences, not in single clips. Let's take a look at something easy, like cooking eggs, for example. Instead of one shot of the eggs in a pan, break it up into a story. Taking the eggs from the carton, cutting butter, melting butter in a pan, cracking the first egg, cracking the second egg from a different angle, removing the shells from the pan. That's a little bit of realism. Then the cooking process, adding a little bit of salt and pepper, plating the food, even eating and cleaning. That's one simple everyday moment, but now it's 8 to 10 sellable clips. That was a great example. I'll be here all week. This is what buyers love because it helps them build a story. Think diet, nutrition, real food, cooking at home, which apparently it's a luxury now. High sales potential. Now, here's a list of top five evergreen concepts. We talked about lifestyle, right? But let's be a little bit more specific. Look at something like work from home or remote work. Office desks, coffee, laptop screens, that kind of stuff. Health and wellness. Yoga, eating healthy, drinking water, prescriptions and the cost of prescriptions, especially here in the US. Smart tech, like smart homes, using apps. And then the opposite, modern people going back to analog. That's a big seller. Sustainability, recycling, shopping, reusable bags, planting trees or watering a vegetable garden. Awesome sellers. Now, small business, handmade items like packing products. Your photography is a business. What can you capture from that seems mundane but can make you money? If you film these, you're filming things that businesses are already looking to buy right now. Now, here's where most people fail, and that is keywording. You have the perfect clip, and if no one finds it, no one's gonna buy it. So keep it simple. Your job is not to sound smart. It's to describe exactly what's in that photo or that video. I use this simple method. You ask who, what, where, why, when, and how. And if you need help, you can always ask AI tools to generate keywords, but there's a warning here. AI loves to overcomplicate things. Keep it simple. If someone searches for your clip, would they find it with whatever words or titles you gave it? I had that problem here on YouTube, searching for old videos. I try to get creative. I can't even find my own videos, so how is somebody else supposed to? And it's the same with stock. If I can't find them, nobody else is going to. How am I gonna sell them? Now, that tool I mentioned earlier, it's iStalker Studio or IMS. Lightroom is fantastic for keywording photos, but is not so good with videos. Soccer Studio makes this way easier. It costs about $35 a year, and it saves me a lot of time. Not only keywording, but also uploading and even submitting to agencies. Soccer Studio is a FTP uploader also, which most agencies recommend or require for uploading video. And no, this is not sponsored, but I'm gonna add a link in the video description if you wanna learn a little bit more about this. Okay, now here's a tip. I like to shoot photos and video of the same thing. So if I have keywords in Lightroom or IMS and for the photos, I can just copy, paste, or synchronize all of that metadata for the videos. Way faster than working with spreadsheets and CSV files. Just copy and paste, simple. Now let's talk about another mistake beginners make. They upload 10, maybe 20 clips, and that's it, they quit. This is not a quick win system. Stock footage is volume and time. Think of it as planting seeds. Every clip you upload is a seed. Some grow fast, some may take months or years to grow. Now, staying with the same analogy, think of uploading consistent content as watering those plants. The point is, don't let perfection get in the way of good enough. Don't chase perfection. Start simple, start real. Start with everyday problems and solutions. If you found this helpful, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Maybe this one up here on the technical requirements for stock video, or that one over there on IMS. I don't know, you pick. I'll see you there. Bye.